How's it going, everybody? This is Seer here, and today we're going over my defense changes for Cosmic Crucible. Now, there were a few alterations I actually made to this. I wanted to try to shake things up a little bit. I moved my stage 6 mainly over to stage 4 because that seems to be kind of the new issue that people are kind of struggling with. So let's go ahead and go over the defense. I'll kind of explain my thought process behind this. For stage 1 hunting sense, in here the striker characters are going to be applying bleed. Raider skirmisher are going to basically get an ISO attack if the target does have bleed. I'm going to end up sticking with my Liberty with Ultimate's team in here. Now I am a few bio pieces short. I think about 1.5 gear pieces away from Patriot being geared tier 20. Once that happens, we'll see if this still causes some issues. I know this could end up tripping up the Superior 6 team if they kind of bring like Vulture in and they make that mental mistake on there. For stage 2 Turtle Shell, on defense and offense, all characters are going to be gaining a 50% max barrier, making that barrier 80%. On spawn, barrier yourself for 100% that character's max health, so they're going to have a max barrier basically all the way full at the start of this matchup. They're going to be gaining 100% damage on allied death. Barrier yourself for 100% that character's max health. On spawn, Kahori's on spawn speed bar fill will trigger an additional time. I did not know they put this in here, so they at least acknowledged it. They didn't fix it, but they put a text update on here. That's actually kind of funny on here. Now, the team I ended up going with in here is going to be the Annihilators, and as you can see, I have 2 Cabal members in here. The reason I'm doing that is I don't really need Cabal for offense because of what I actually have right now. By putting Leader in here, this is going to be increasing their max health by that 50%. Namor on a villain crit is going to be getting speed up, so that's going to be pretty interesting, I think, in here. So Gore could end up popping up pretty quick, get the crit out there, then start popping things off, as you can kind of imagine. Kahori will probably still annihilate this. However, due to the extra health that Leader's going to be given to the villains, I'm curious how that is going to start changing things around, because even if they try to bring Immortal X-Men in here, by having that extra health, that could end up messing up Storm. We'll kind of see what happens in here for this one. Toxic, on defense and offense, all characters. On that character's turn, attack self for 50% that character's max health. This damage reduces the max health of that character by the same amount. Basically, this is the efficiency drain room. I'm going with the full vigilante team in here. The reason I pulled Nightcrawler was mainly just so I could try to move him over to that stage 5 room. So I had the full team in here. I think this is still going to be a fairly easy room, but it's new stats, new team, so it could kind of cause some efficiency sink in. That's kind of what I'm going for. Stage 4 Supercharged. On defense and offense, all characters, after using an ultimate ability, spread all positive effects to adjacent allies. Ultimate abilities are going to cost 2 less ability energy in here. So what I'm going with, you are seeing this correctly. We have a Black Knight, we have a Mephisto, we have a new Emma in here, Shadow King, and Iron Patriot. So I know people were using Captain Britain in here. I wanted to still keep the Illuminati as an offensive tool, including Captain Britain. By using Black Knight in here, we're going to have that pre-taunt that retaliates. We have Mephisto in here. He's that gear tier 20 along with Shadow King, along with new Emma. If they don't bring Null in here, Mephisto's going to use that ultimate empowered. That's going to cause a Shadow King ping as overpowered gear tier 20. Extra damage coming from Iron Patriot. That thing's going to delete somebody right off rip. There's also going to be the extra damage from Mephisto in here. So if they try and actually use Null in here, Mephisto's still going to get his turns off. That's going to end up causing those special. And, well, he's still going to start with the ultimate then, where it's going to do the big AoE hit. Extra damage from Iron Patriot. I'm curious how this is going to end up faring. I think this is going to trip a few people up, and by having Cabal broken up, I'm still kind of able to take advantage of what they can bring. Stage 5 Mutant Immune System. On defense and offense, mutant characters, on turn, clear all negative effects from self. Heal self for 10% of this character's max health for each negative effect cleared. All characters on turn end will be gaining defense down. What I have in here is going to be the Taskmaster Ghost rework in here. So that's 2 villains. We have 2 heroes with Pav. We have Nightcrawler in here and Super Skrull in here. The reason I have this in here is I want to try to bait somebody into using Immortal X-Men over here. Pav basically being a striker, there's going to be vulnerables out there. He's going to end up doing the striker shot in there. That could end up getting the speed up on one of these characters with the high damage. And if they get their turns off, that could be pretty brutal in here. So I'm curious. I still think Immortal X-Men will kind of walk over this, meaning they can't use Immortal X-Men in stage 2. They'll have to kind of lean into the Kahori possibly over here. I just want to try to trip them up in some way, shape, or form to cause that tiny little slip up in their game. Stage 6, Spider-Man's Web Trap. On offense and defense, all characters. Speed bar cannot be increased or decreased. Characters with speed up gain negative 50% speed. Characters with slow gain plus 50% speed. No extra notes in here like we did for that stage 2. Basically, if you bring like a Nightcrawler APOC in here, that could try to cancel out some of these negative effects on here, basically rendering the room somewhat useless. Or if you end up doing a burn attack in here, then you can start taking advantage of that speed up slow in here. It's really weird on how this room is kind of bugged. I'm using Night Stalkers with Omega Sentinel in here. By putting Omega Sentinel in here, if they try going for that mirror matchup, they're going to be taking those Omega Sentinel pings, which could cause a loss of life on one of their characters. If my characters get a turn, I have the Overpowered on Blade and Oath in here, just trying to kind of maximize what I could do. Now, you could end up going with that Moon Knight if you want. However, I'm not using Orcus on here, so I really wanted to lean into getting those pings from Omega Sentinel. The ultimate doing the nice big AoE hit, possibly stunning and messing up some efficiency RNG game on them. So I think this could end up kind of tripping people up as well. So I know what you're probably thinking as well. If you have this stuff on defense, what are you going to use for offense? Let's go ahead and take a look in here. So what we have, I have a Superior 6 team still. I have my Kahori team still. I have Immortal X-Men. I have Old Man Logan, Illuminati, Odin. I have Kang on offense still. I have the Starjammers team on here. And I still have some Orcus members. I would just not have Omega Sentinel. I could take advantage of that. I have Phoenix Force. I have APOC. I have a lot of things on offense. So I'm not really hurting myself too much by kind of making this pivot. So I'm not going to have Astral. As you can see, they're kind of on defense broken up. I have Super Skrull. I have Mephisto. I have my Odin on offense. So I feel pretty confident about this. I think by kind of going with this Cabal breakup, and I just kind of want to go over their passives for you to show you why this could end up tripping a few people up. Starting off with Iron Patriot. If we end up going down in Crucible, villain allies gain a 50% damage boost on them. This is pretty nasty, how you can still take advantage of this without needing the full team. Now, if you have the full team, this would end up getting the accuracy buff on there, which is perfectly fine. The vulnerables for the speed bar fill, that's fine. I'm not really trying to take advantage of that. For Namor, if we go here, on spawn, defense or offense, offense up and deflect. So leader's going to spawn in with this as well. And if we go down to here, there's going to be the Cabal allies gaining 30% damage increase on here, it looks like. And in Crucible, we're not going to be taking advantage of the death proof. However, on self or villain ally crit, bury yourself in all villain allies and also apply speed up to self and Cabal allies. So having it to where speed up could go with leader and Namor, I think that could still end up being a pretty useful in here. And the last thing is going to be leader, where if we end up looking at his pegs down here, this is when ally drops below 50% max health for the first time, do the following: flip, disrupt, stealth, defense up. That's fine. In Crucible, we're not going to be taking advantage of this. We will be able to take advantage of the charge portion on here and gain 50% max health and 50% armor. In Crucible, villain allies gain 50% max health and 50% armor. So that Thanos endgame is going to have basically an extra 70% max health, 50% due to leader, 20% due to being on defense, plus all that barrier. So I'm really curious how things are going to kind of shaping up. I don't hate the defense I put out there. Obviously, I'm doing a video on it, but let me know what you guys think about the defense changes I did. If you have any questions about it. If you guys did enjoy this video, please remember to like, share, subscribe to the channel. Until next time, have a wonderful rest of the day.